right, we're just getting set up here, trying something new. Something new. And I'm just checking to see if we're rolling. All right. It looks like we've gone live. It looks like we're horizontal. Now I have to find myself so that I can attach it to the crop. So hello. Good afternoon. It's Monica from Life as Art, and this is the Thursday 3:30 p.m. demo at the Weekend in Whistler online crop. And I'm just trying something new here with the with the with the YouTubes, because we haven't been able to go live on Facebook in a horizontal landscape position. And so I'm just looking to see if I can get on here. Here we go. I found myself. And now I can share the video. Sorry for the extra time that this is taking. But I just need to copy the link over into the crop and get that on there so that everybody can watch, and pin it to the featured things. Oh, so many steps. Okay. Now, let's see if I can see what's happening here. We're going live. Maybe see if I can switch it a little bit. Once I get used to this, hopefully this will be a lot easier. I'm just trying to figure out. There we go. Okay. Trying to figure out how to get myself in so that I can adjust things, because yeah, it's not terrible. You're gonna see my legs and stuff here, but that is what it is. We will work out those kinks later. If you're joining me live, just say hello or howdy so I know you're here. And if you're watching on replay, you can say replay. And there we go. Now I think I can see the live chat as well. Hopefully I will see your comments as they come in. I don't see anything there yet, but if you're watching live, just say hello or howdy so I can see if anybody's there. Okay, so we are looking at the new November-December catalog. Well, it's not exactly new because this is the second month of the catalog, but we are focusing on the Evergreen collection for the month of December. Hey, Dawn, yay, you found me. Oh, you can't see my legs. Okay, well, this is the edge of my table anyways. At least we can see all of the layout once we start building, because this is a double page. And our Facebooks were only letting us go in vertical orientation, and you cannot see a whole double page layout that way. So we're trying this. So I'm glad you found us, Dawn. And also that I can see the chat. So that's awesome. So we're looking at the Evergreen collection, which is a gorgeous collection that has lots of browns and greens and so many good things in it. And this morning we were using some of the paper and stickers and die cuts and things like that, along with our stamp of the month. But this afternoon I wanted to demonstrate for you our scrapbooking workshop kit. So this is the Evergreen Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. It makes 3 double-page layouts. It's got a few optional extra techniques that we can do in them. So we're going to do a couple of those. And so when you're purchasing the kit, your kit is going to come with a paper pack and sticker sheet. It's going to have 6 pieces of cardstock that you need. You're going to have 4 exclusive pattern papers, 2 die cut sheets, some exclusive evergreen die cuts, and if you want the option of having the memory protectors, you can get a kit with memory protectors. I bought mine without because I buy mine in bulk. And then over here it has additional supplies. So there's a journaling pen, there's foam tape, and then there are 2 distress oxides. Now we have stopped carrying distress oxides on a regular basis, but when it's appropriate for a kit, they're going to include them as an option to purchase them. And so you can get the Rustic Wilderness and Speckled Egg distress oxides from this catalog if they're not sold out already. You can also get the optional white gloss spray, which we used to carry, but we don't anymore. But for this catalog, they brought it back. And you can also get the blending brushes, which is something that we do have all the time, but they're just throwing it in there as a reminder. And I do have blending brushes, but I brought brand new ones because I have not used them with distress oxides before, and I don't want to mix my regular ink blending brushes with distress oxide ones. So I bought new ones, and I have marked them with a little piece of washi tape around the handle so that I will know these are the distress ones. Sometimes you need to give yourself little hints. So there are 3 layouts in this collection. This is the first one. This one here with this lovely sort of glaciery sage background. Lots of fun die cuts on there and a bit of inking. Then this is layout number 2, which is the one we're going to be creating today. Lovely stickers on there. Sorry, the closer I get, the less light you get on there. And then the third one, which has some really fun sort of concave hexagons, creating a fun pattern on there along with some inking. So we're going to create layout number 2. Now, when you get your kits, it comes all together in a bundle. I should explain, we have different kinds of kits with Close to My Heart. We have, maybe that will help. One of my lights was pointing at my wall instead of down at the table. We have cut above kits, and those are kits where everything is cut for you. And so there's no paper pack in there. It's already pre-cut pieces, die cuts, stickers, that kind of thing. Then we have the Scrapbooking Workshop Kits, and this is where you get actual instructions on how to do the cutting yourself. So it shows you the 3 layouts, tells you materials, and then it has a cutting guide for you to work through. And of course, I've already gone ahead and I have cut all the pieces that I need for my kit. Then it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to put together the layouts. And we're going to be doing project number 2. So I'm going to leave this page right there. And then you've also got your die cuts. So for this one, we've got some green, some white, and some craft. Then there's also the sticker sheet that comes with the paper pack. So we've got that there. Then there's die cut sheets. And I got to pull those out because I need to punch out some die cuts. And then the paper pack that I've already cut up and I've put them into bags. Project 1, Project 3, and Project 2 is sitting beside me. So let's grab our die cuts. The great thing with the die cuts is that they have labeled all of the die cuts for you. So if you flip it over to the back, you can see Project 1, Project 1, Project 2. So we're working on Project 2. This is the back side, so I want to punch it through to the front side. That way, if there's any tearing, and you saw how easy that comes apart, the tearing will be on the back, not on where you want the design. This is Project 2. So we're just going to push that to the front side and pull that out. Scanning for Project 2. There's more Project 2. And I try my best to keep the die cuts from coming apart right at the beginning because they're going to be easier to find. But I'm going to have a bit of a time with that one because we've got frames inside frames. So there we go. Project number 2, project number 3, project number 3, project number 3. Lots of project number 3s and project number 1s. Okay, that's it for this sheet. Bringing in our second piece of die cuts, and we have project number 2 right there. And project number 2, I'm looking at all the words upside down. Can you read upside down? I can, but not everybody can, so I'll turn it around. So project number 2, project number 2. Hey, Val! You can only stay on for a couple of minutes. Woo, Christmas lights and cooking dinner. Yep, once we're done on here, I actually have to take my daughter shopping because she has 2 birthday parties to go to this weekend, and I won't be able to do it tomorrow because, well, I have the crop, but also I have an appointment at the hospital tomorrow, and that's going to take up any amount of free time that I might have had. And then we have base pages. So these are the 2 exclusive patterns that come with this kit, and then we've also got some cardstock for base pages. This particular layout, we're using this one that's kind of a fun light gray minky color with some texture on it. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up just because of the light and everything. I'm looking at it on my phone, and on my phone it's hard to see maybe the same thing that you're seeing. So I'm going to, set my die cuts aside like that, and I'm going to spread out my base pages, and then we can start crafting. Now, one of the things that I like to do with my base pages, I'm going to just set that to the side, is I quite often like to attach my base pages to my Versamat so that they don't shift around while I'm trying to measure and line things up. So I'm just going to take a tiny little piece of adhesive, and this is double-sided tape, and I can't seem to grab it. Let me grab my handy dandy tool. I like using my piercing tool for getting those backings off. So let's stick this one down. We're going to line it up with the lines on the Versamat. And that will help us with the measuring, because in our instructions, they actually give us measurements for where to place the items that we're attaching to the page. When you're doing your cutting for your kits, it's always good to label each piece on the back side so that you know which piece it is when you pull it out to stick it onto your page. Now, so this is one of those do as I say, not as I do moments, because I did not label my pieces. So that'll be fun. We'll give it a go. So we've got our 2 base pages, and let's take a look at our instructions here. They're starting with the left page. We'll kind of do a little bit of togetherness here. So one of the optional techniques is to spray both base pages with, which is the exclusive mink pattern paper, with white gloss spray, which is this. We're going to shake that up as I talk. It says, tip, spray the paper from approximately 8 inches away and in an area where you don't mind getting messy. Gloss sprays stain. Now, for those of you who know me, I like getting messy. It's true. But I also like my all-purpose mat. So when we get to the spray spot, we're going to use our all-purpose mat to protect our work surface. And, but we're going to start attaching some of the pieces first, because I actually noticed there's a little bit of spray up here in this part of the layout. I might add a little bit down here as well. And on the second page, they actually have some splatter on top of some of the pieces of pattern paper. So I kind of like that. And so I want to get some of my pattern paper on there before I do the spraying. Makes sense, right? So we're going to start out first with the zip strip. And this is a fun zip strip. And I actually used some of it this morning on my card, and this is a zip strip that has snowflakes, but they're made out of pine boughs, which is super cool. And this is going to get lined up right along the edge of this pattern paper. Then we're also going to come in with a piece that we cut from pattern paper, and this is some lovely polka dots, kind of incorporating all the colors of the collection with sort of a craft background, kind of distressed looking, which is lovely. And we're just going to butt that right up against that first zip strip we stuck down, just like that. Then we're coming in with a piece of green pattern paper that has the lovely leaves. Again, we used this morning. I like that the scrapbooking workshop kits are using the same paper pack as the cards that we made, so that we can get some sort of matchy going on, right? We get familiar with the pieces. So this piece is 2C, I think, and we're going to attach it 2 inches down from the top and 2 inches in from the right. So we're going to come 2 inches in and 2 inches down and stick that on there like that. That's our pattern paper. And then we also have a piece of, look at this. Isn't this such a fun pattern? It's music. I want to get my husband to take a piece of this and stick some of it into the computer and have it play what the song is, if anything. Close to my heart, didn't know if it was an actual song or just random, but I mean, it's music. So if you stuck it in the computer, it would probably play you something. So this piece is going to be 1/2 inch down from the top of the green and 3/4 inch in from the left. So right about there, I would say. And then we also have a piece of this mink plaid that's got a bit of distressing on it. And this is going to go on over here on this side, 2.5 inches down from the top. So 1, 2.5. So lining it up there like that and just butting it up right against that green pattern. Excellent. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going to stop there. And before we do the splattering, let's jump over to the right side and see. Oh, I see a few more people have joined and are watching. Hello, hello. So if you're joining me live, just say hello. I know this is a little bit different because it is YouTube instead of Facebook, but I figured it out. I've been trying to figure out how to go live on YouTube and finally did it. And this has a way of solving our issue with not being able to do a live video on Facebook in the landscape position, which is ideal for doing a double page layout. And then we're coming in with the same kind of strip as we had on the left side, butting that right up against that zip strip. Now, just because this kit is cut this way and made this way does not mean that if you buy the kit, you have to make your layouts exactly the way they have it. You can take the paper and the embellishments and the die cuts and you can totally make it your own. You can mix it up. You can add what you want here and there. And, you know, you don't have to follow the instructions. We call it off-roading sometimes. So then we're going to come in with a piece of this mink plaid, just like we had on the other side, but we're switching it up a little bit. So we had just a little strip over here. Now we're coming in with a larger piece on the right-hand side. And this one is going to be 1.5 inches from the top and 1 inch from the paper strip that we just added, which is about at 11 3/4. So we're going to, 11 1/4 in. So we're going to come to 9 3/4. I always do backwards numbers when I get up here. So we're going to come to 9 3/4. and 1.5 inches down, which was about 10.5, 9 3/4, 9 3/4. Try and get it fairly straight. There we go. It makes it kind of centered from top to bottom, and actually pretty much centered from side to side as well. It's just that we've got those strips there that kind of throw our eyeballs off. And then we can attach our piece of the same pattern paper that we had over here as a larger piece. We're now doing it as a tall, skinny piece. And this is going to be 1 inch from the top and 2.25 inches from the left side. So we're going to come down 1 inch and come across 2.25. So we're actually going to line up right along the edge of that mink. So this is where it's good to watch somebody put it together ahead of time. If you want to conserve some of this mink paper, or the opposite side is that lovely music note paper, you could just modify your cutting guide to cut just that strip, because this whole part over here gets hidden. So, word to the wise. It's good to watch other people go through the layouts so you get those kind of little hints. Okay, now our next piece is this music piece. Again, we're copying from the other side. There was music there as well. This one is going to be, does it give a measurement? It doesn't really give a measurement. We're just going to butt it up against the side, and we're going to kind of center it from top to bottom and call that a day. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, and then after this, we just have embellishments. So this is where we're going to take a moment. We're going to lift this up, and it's got a sticky bit on the back, so I'm going to flip it over. Going to bring in our all-purpose mat to protect our work surface, and just because it has a sticky bit doesn't make much difference on this all-purpose mat. I am dropping it down from the top of my mat so that I have a little bit of buffer as I grab my white acrylic gloss spray, shake it up. Now there is a little ball bearing in there, which if you shake it enough will start rattling around and really mix everything up good. But I'm not going to wait that long. Now, this has a sprayer on it, so you can spray. But the effect I really like is just to do splattering. So you just unscrew it, take the little wand out, and then you can splatter with the wand. So I'm going to do some splattering up here in this corner, because that's what was on the thing. And sometimes you can even take it, if you want big drops, you can just blop them right on there like that to get some bigger drops, and then splatter for smaller ones. I always find that you're going to have more splatter up here than where you want it. It's kind of the nature of the beast. But there we go. We've got a little bit of splatter. And then we could also move down and do a little bit down here. And I'll even touch it to the paper a little bit, just like that. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, this is a bit wet, so I'm going to move it aside and bring in my second piece. And we're going to kind of do the same thing. We're going to start in this upper corner here and add some splatter. And I'm trying to get some of the splatter to also go on the pattern paper, not just the background paper, because I think it looks kind of pretty the way they did it. So we're going to get some fun splattering effect on there, even on our borders on the side. We're also getting some up there. And then we're going to come down here and do some splattering kind of in this corner like this, but we may also kind of creep across and get a little bit down there. Why not? We're at Whistler. The snow kind of goes where it goes when you're skiing and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to bring in my stamp chamois. And yes, you can use your stamp chamois to wipe off your all-purpose mat and the acrylic spray. And when you go to the sink and you get it wet again, just give it a little swishy swish. Rub it together a little bit, and that will take the any of the paint off of your chamois. Now, if you find that your paint has dried, because it does dry fairly fast, this is another tip that I'll share with you. If you've got little splatters here, take a nice ruler with a sharpish edge and just go like this, and it will scrape it right off your all-purpose mat. Look at that. It just, because it's just blopped right on top. It's not like it's soaked in. And then you just want to make sure that you wipe off your ruler, because it'll have little dusties of acrylic spray on it. And then you can gather that up. Easy peasy. Roll it up and put it away. So always store it rolled or flat, one or the other. You don't want to get crinkles in it. Okay, now we can put our layouts back on here. Now, some of those larger blops of acrylic paint are going to still be a bit wet. So I'm going to be gentle and careful about what I'm doing as I'm assembling, but I don't want to spend a long time waiting for it to dry. So we'll keep moving on. So if you're joining me live, say howdy. Let me know what you think of these beautiful papers. And I'm going to flip back to the left side, because that's the one we splattered first. So we need to start adding our embellishments. And so one of the embellishments is this lovely circle. And if you look at the page, it's actually tucked underneath, but we don't want to waste it. So let's go ahead and attach our music on top, just like this, because it's kind of centered in the center of this beautiful mink scallopy piece. Just take the backing off there, and let's make sure that we kind of get it that way. We want it to be upright, just like that. And then we can trim it. So let me grab my little trimmer. We only want it to stick out a little bit. Oops. And then we can save the rest of the scallop. So let's trim right along between those two scallops there. Move that out of the way. And then let's add some adhesive on here. Now, one of the hints that they give you, they don't necessarily spell out where you find each of the pieces. One of the hints that they give you is to not put adhesive right on the edge of things. Because if you put adhesive right on the edge of things and then decide that you want to tuck something underneath, it kind of doesn't work. Yeah. Kind of doesn't work because you've kind of covered it up. Now on this page, I have a couple photos that I'm bringing in from my trip to Iqaluit up in the Arctic, Iqaluit, Nunavut. And so I've got this lovely one, and this was actually taken off the back deck of my friend's house in her old house. They've moved since, and they're moving again, but still in Iqaluit. So I thought this was really pretty. The colors seem to go nice with this collection. And I have scrapbooked. You may recognize a couple of the pictures I'm using. But as I was telling the ladies earlier on Chat and Craft, I don't mind scrapbooking similar photos again, because there's always a chance that somebody may make their friend an album as well. So this piece is going to be, let me just check the measurements. It's going to be put on 3/8 of an inch down from the top of the music and 3/8 of an inch in from the left side. So 3/8 is just less than half an inch. So I'm going to say about there. We'll give that a go. And then here I have a picture of my friend and her husband pushing the stroller as they walked around. It was the beginning of May when I was there, and so their baby was about 6 weeks old. I think 6 weeks old when I was there. Super exciting time for Auntie to come and visit. And So we're going to attach that. And these photo mats were part of the instructions as well. They were some of the things that I cut out before with the nice acorn cardstock, all these staticky backings. And so this one is going to be 1/4 of an inch down from the photo above, and 3 5/8 from this edge. 1, 2, 3, and 5/8, and 1/4 of an inch down, which is about there. We'll call that. Good. It looks like I actually kind of cut that one a little bit wonky, but it is what it is. We can always trim it up with the X-Acto blade later. And this, you'll notice, is a little bit over this way, just like this edge has got a little bit more space. And that's because we're going to do a cluster of things in this corner. We've got our nice little title here, we've got some embellishments, and we've also got some happening up here. So let's get started on those. One of the optional things that they said we could do, sorry, I've got my back turned, is to add some inking to the title. So we've got this title here, like snowflakes, we are all beautiful in our own way. And the optional idea was to take your Speckled Egg Distress Oxide, which looks lovely with all these colors, and a blending brush, and just add a little bit of that kind of in the center of the title, just to add a little bit of color to that, not too much. So we're going to set that aside for a second. I do want to pop up this sticker using some foam tape. That's a nice kind of thing to do on a layout sometimes, is to pop things up. So I'm just grabbing my foam tape here, and this is the regular 3D foam tape. And you always have to get a piece of foam tape on there before it lets go. So let's get a piece up in there on that little half circle, and a little piece down there. And then we will add some more foam tape. I tend to do pieces, and that way I can get them in the places I want. If I do one big strip, I usually don't cut it the right size anyway. And so, you know, it just kind of goes everywhere. And then we can even put a little bit there just to buffer the center. But because this is a sticker, by nature, a sticker has stickiness on the back of it. And so if I put it in my album and then it all gets pushed down, parts of it might be stuck and part might be raised. So what we do is we take our anti-static pouch that we use when we heat emboss, and we just tap it all over the back of our sticker, just like this, and it'll put that starchy stuff on the back, and it will take the stick away. It also sticks to my nail polish. You know, it's crafting when you get, you know, when your nail polish is affected. And then we can remove the backing off of these, which all want to stick to me, of course. We don't actually have to remove the backing off all of them, because some of them are just kind of spacers, like that one in the center. It doesn't really matter if I take the backing off. And so this title is going to get added here. I'm just bringing this in for to let me line it up. It overlaps onto the photos a little bit, just like that. That looks good. Stick that down. And then we have a bunch of embellishments that are going underneath. And some of those are stickers and some of them are die cuts. So let's grab the things that are in the background first. We've got this lovely sticker with a pine cone, and that's going to get tucked under here like that. Lovely. And then we have from our die cuts, it's nice sometimes to follow a pattern, isn't it? Do you ever find you go into your crafty space and then you go, I don't know what I want to do? Do you ever have that? I don't feel inspired. Somebody should just tell me what to do. And that's when it's fun to pull out a kit and just work on a kit. So I'm going to go ahead and do my little trick where I put a bit of glue on my hand. And if you ever wonder why I use that part of my hand, it's because that part of my hand will probably never get affected by touching other paper. And then we can go ahead and attach this, and it's going to tuck under here. So because I did a lot of foam tape, I may have to play around till I get it in the right spot where I can tuck it under, or I can trim off the stem a little bit. So we've got that, and then there's a couple sprigs of greenery, and let me see, maybe one big one. Just pop those out. You just have to be careful. They do pop out easily. You just have to be careful that you don't get it tangled on the carrier sheet. Look at that. Aren't those so detailed? So we're going to have one. We're just going to flip it over so it goes up. Let's tap, tap, tap in the glue. And then have this one going up like that. And then this one's going to curve down. And that's the fun thing about these die cuts. To make it curve the other way, just flip it over. Easy peasy. So we're going to have this one curving down. And then we also have a white die cut getting tucked in here. And it's one of these little leafy guys. There we go. And do I have enough glue? I have a little bit of glue. Which way is it going? It's going that way. I better glue the right side. Get a little tiny touch more glue. There we go. So this one, and it's hard to even see it in the picture. You can actually see it up there better. So we're just going to tuck this under. I might even need to use my tweezers to lift some of the greenery out of the way. We're just going to tuck that under there like that. Nice little sprig. Then we have a sticker from the sticker sheet that says peace. And let's go ahead and stick that on with some foam tape. Let me grab that foam tape we had earlier. Cut ourselves a square. Now this is a tiny sticker with a big piece of foam, so we probably don't even need to worry about doing the anti-static pouch because it's not going to be an issue. So we're just going to tuck this sticker right in there like that. So cute. I love all these fun little details. And then we've also got this sticker with the heart in the center, and those are actually cut apart. So we can use this for this piece, and then we can use the sticker heart center for some other thing. And then we also have a little snowflake that's going to go up there like that. We're going to pop that up with a little bit of foam tape as well. Let me grab the narrower foam tape for this, because I probably only need a little bit of foam tape on a couple of the points. So I've kind of cut myself a little triangle just there, and one more little triangle. Cut it the opposite way now. Tiny little pieces. It's just so that those points don't gotta figure out my direction here. Just so those points don't get stuck down. The rest of the sticker is actually going to be on our title sticker. Just pull the backing off of those and stick it right on there, right on the corner. Just like that. And then up here at the top, we've got this postage stamp sticker that's going to tuck under there. Now we just have to see how much leeway I left. There's a good chance that I may have to trim my sticker because I think I put my glue pretty close to the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand it up like that and then just decide where I want to cut it across which means we can also save that piece of sticker for another project. And then we can just tuck this right along the edge like that. And we also have a little green tag, which is right here. Let me see if we can tuck that one. No, we'll need to trim that one too. So let's trim it right about there. And we can save that for something else. Add some adhesive. Do I have enough glue left on my hand? I might. Let's stick that on there. And we can tuck it under a little bit, so there is a little bit of it getting tucked under there. There we go. I don't know if that was enough glue. Let's add a little more glue. There we go. Just to be safe. Okay, now we have... we've got a little circle. Now, is that a die cut or a sticker? I think it's this sticker. And I think what they're doing is they're mixing and matching. So they're taking the outside of this sticker and sticking it on like that. And then they're taking the center of this sticker and sticking it in the center of that one to create a two-tone sticker, which is super fun. And then we have from the die cuts some little hearts, and they actually want us to ink these hearts. So we've got this one and this one, and those are from the white die cuts. They want us to do some inking, so let me see. I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper here to do my inking. Don't mind all this. I do math sometimes. And I'm going to bring in my blending brush and that same speckled egg. And we're just going to ink these up just lightly with that speckled egg. Did you know that you could ink up your die cuts? I like it when they give us these little optional ideas because it's not always something that you think about, right? Even the wood grain die cuts, we can add ink onto those and make all different colors of wood grain. Super fun. So there we go. We've inked up our two little hearts. Just move that out of the way. I've probably inked up my finger as well. And then we can go ahead and add our heart on there. I'm going to use some liquid glue for this. And I'm going to use it right straight from the bottle. Woo! And we're just going to toss it on there like that. Cute little heart. So fun. And I think we just have a couple tags left to do. Let's bring those in. We've got that tag. And this little dovetailed tag. And then we also have this one that's going to go on the side. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, we have a little bit of greenery over here too. So let's stick down. I've lost my adhesive. My roll of adhesive has gone on walkabout. Let's grab a new one sitting right there instead of wasting our time looking. Let's add some adhesive to these. And then once we get these on, we can move over to our right-hand side page. So this is kind of centered in the space that's left up here. So we've got a little bit of that music paper showing. And again, I didn't do adhesive all over my photo mats, just a couple strips. And that allows me to tuck under. And this one is actually going to stick out a little further than the green. Like that. Isn't that fun? Nice little detail. Then we've got this little tab. We can attach on the side. And we should be able to tuck that under a little bit too. Nope, we were going to tuck it under the green, not the acorn. Just like that. Nice little wood grain touches. We love those wood grain touches. And then a couple of the green die cut boughs. Grab this one. It's falling out anyway. It's a volunteer. And this one I love how easy these are to come out. They just pop right out. Grab a little glue, like that. And alrighty. So we also have a little bit of leafy goodness. Let's grab a little bit of leafy goodness. Sometimes these little bits are hard to see. One way to get a good look is to go online to the listing where this is for sale, and you can really zoom in on the pictures on there, and that kind of gives you an idea. Actually, we're going to go on top of the green, but under the acorn. So we're going to stick that white one down first, and then this lovely green is going to go on top, and then this one, and we're going to have it curving down. A little bit of glue on there, and tuck that one, oops, under there. So pretty. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's all for the left side. Oops, don't want to lose my little heart. Don't want to lose my heart. Okay, we're moving over to the right side now, just to do the photos and then the embellishments. So on this side, I have a photo of my friend and I, and we're at the sort of the little causeway or the breakwater at the inlet coming into Iqaluit. So we're gonna stick that on here. And these are 4x6 or 6x4, I should say, photos. And then the smaller ones are 3-inch photos. So it takes 2 6x4s and then 3 of the smaller ones. Now, if you use flip flaps, you can add as many photos as you want. So this is going to be 3/4 of an inch down from the top of this music paper and 1/2 inch in. So that's about 1/2 inch in. And 1, 2, 3, 3/4 of an inch down. We'll say that's about where we want to be. I'm looking at it at such a weird angle that I feel like everything is crooked. And it could very well be. And then these 2 smaller photos are actually going to be on the same photo mat, which I like that technique, where you kind of have a mat that works for 2. It's kind of like a bicycle built for 2. It's a mat built for 2. Makes it nice and cohesive and adds to the design element in a lot of cases. So let's line that up. Like so. And then we can stick this on. And this one is 1 1/8 inch in from the left side of the paper. So that's about here. And about 1/4 of an inch down from the top, and that kind of puts it there. So the right hand side of these photo mats kind of lines up with each other. Okay, and then we have some embellishing happening over here. We've got a piece of pine cardstock and a piece of the French vanilla, but it's not going on just like that. We're going to add a sticker on there. From the sticker sheet, this frame right here is what's going to frame our journaling spot. Now, I don't think I have ever tried to line up a sticker on a piece of cardstock like this. I usually stick it on and then cut it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that dark pine in behind to help me see the edges, get the bottom, and then hope that the rest of it just kind of lines itself up. Not bad, not bad. Did pretty good. And that gives us then that nice center spot of, probably actually it's French vanilla, not white, because that's the coordinating color for this is French vanilla. And stick that down there like that. And we're going to put it over here on the side, but we've got a couple pieces that we want to add into. We're going to use this postage stamp shaped die cut, in behind there, and only part of it is showing. So Thrifty Me wants to do one of these where we're just gonna kind of trim a little bit off to save for something else. We could tuck that in the edge of something else later on. So Thrifty Me says, let's do that. Do you have a Thrifty you, or is it just me? And then this next little bit that's under there took me a bit of a while to find. It's actually the edge of this sticker. So instead of wasting the whole sticker and hiding it in behind, I am going to use my X-Acto knife gently, and I'm going to trim off the portion of the sticker that we're using. We're just using the top portion. Just a tiny little bit of it. In fact, there's even a line on there that we can follow. And I'm just gently going to run across it. Maybe I'll do it twice just to make sure I went all the way through. Hopefully I did. And then we can peel that. Did I go all the way through? No, I was too gentle. Well, next best, we're going to pull it off and we're going to use our scissors. We'll just follow the line that I cut because I can see it. And we'll just use our scissors to trim it off. And then we can use the bottom part of that sticker for something else. Waste not, want not. Okay, so where's our little sticker there? And then we can stick that on there. Let's remove the backing off of this. And let's add some adhesive on the, oh, we already did. We already did it. Let's take the backing off. And this is 1 inch in and 4 1/8 down, and then 1 3/8 in at the bottom. So let's see, 4 1/8. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/8, about there. And then it's about 1 inch in at the top and 1 3/8 in at the bottom. So it's kind of like that. Then these can get tucked underneath here at the top, like so. And then we have our die cut heart that we did some inking on. And we can go ahead and stick that down like so. And then there's also our sticker, our little heart sticker from the center of this that's going to go on here beside it. Look at that, 2 nice happy little stickers together. And then down here in this corner, we're going to do a fun cluster. And so we're going to take, this is my favorite sticker from this sticker sheet with this gorgeous lantern on here. We're going to add some foam tape to the back of this. In the instructions, it gives you the hint that adding some 3D foam tape to some of the stickers and things is a nice touch. So that's what we're doing. We're adding our little bit of dimension like that. And I'll even stick one in the center. Now, because we're going to do a large sticker, we're going to bring in our anti-static pouch and de-stickify our sticker. Just tap it all the way around, and it does a great job of getting that stickiness off and getting powder all over our hands. Then we can peel our backing off. Now we're going to be tucking some things under this, but we can trim them if we need to. So let's get all our backings off. When I'm done my videos, I always have a pile of all the little backing pieces that I have to gather up and and put away. Okay, now this is kind of put on at an angle. There's a little bit of gap between it and that. The point is right about there on the corner, and it kind of runs about the same angle as that one. So we're going to stick that down there like that. Then we've got to bring in our die cut craft leafy right here. Just pop that all out. This is the one that always wants to get snagged because it's got so many little leafies. And it's not difficult to get out. It's the disentangling it part that's difficult. So that's going to go there. We've also got one of our last white leafy moment here. That's going to go on here. One other thing that the kits are really good for is to kind of teach you to work with embellishments and to learn how to do clustering. So let's grab another one of these. It's going to go that way. And then maybe one of these larger ones. There's some that look to be just a little bit bigger than the other ones. And this one's going to go that away. And then I think that's all for those. We do have this other die cut. So we've got this big die cut here. And let me just grab my trimmer. We're going to trim it because it's going to be along the bottom. And we're going to trim sort of about there. Sort of about there. It's a technical term. And then we can save this. Wouldn't that look lovely on a card front? We've also got this other piece here. Both of those can be saved and used for something else. And we'll just poke that out. Put that away. Let's add some adhesive on here. Like that. There we go. I've got so many things parked around beside me now with all the die cuts and things. I don't know where to put anything. And this is just sort of on there like that. I should have tucked it under a little bit. Let me see. Let's see if we can tuck it a little bit. Sometimes you have to get a hold of your paper and kind of give it a little encouragement. There we go. Grab the edge now. I can slide that under there and hopefully not stick it down, which I did. Ta-ta-da. Tuck, tuck, tuck. There we go. That's better. That's more like it. And then we also have a lovely big sticker that's going on here. And that's this gorgeous pine one with the pretty boughs in the center, the little leafies. And this is going to go on top of this. So we need to add a little bit of 3D foam tape to one side of it. Just so it has some lift so that it's the same angle or the same height. So we'll just add some foam tape like that. And I'm not going to bother with the anti-static because some of it's going to be up on top of the this lantern piece anyway. So just tuck that on there, right about there. Looks good. And then we can stick down our little bits. Let's grab some glue. Glue to glue the bits. And I'm just going to kind of leave those sitting there so that I have, you know, an eye on where I'm going to stick things. So that little number is going to drape over onto the strip on the side. I'm going to scooch this out of the way. This is going to kind of overlap it like that. This little guy. The tweezers come in handy for this because I can kind of see where I'm positioning things without all my hands being in the way. This one might need a bit of a trim. I'm going to have to trim a little bit off the bottom to get him to fit. Make sure he's got glue. There we go. A little bit of leafiness there. And then this guy. Ooh, just enough glue. Gonna stick him going down. Down, down, down. And then we actually have a sticker. We do have a sticker. We've got a sticker stuck in the center here, and it's this cute one up here that says love. So we may as well pop that up with some foam tape too. And we've got little bits of greenery stuck to everything. Just stick that right on there. And tuck that right in sort of that interconnected part of all those little stems. And I do believe, no, it's not quite it. One more sticker. I knew I was going to forget it. The sticker up here at the top is this guy right here. And let's see, do we have enough room to tuck? We do. We're going to tuck it right along the top of the photo. We're going to try and center it just like that. And there we go. That is our completed project number 2 from the Evergreen Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. We've got that fun, whoops, something just slid right off. What was that? Oh, it was a little snowflake. It just fell out of the die cuts. I'll pick it up later. We've got that fun exclusive base page we did some splattering on just to kind of go in with those embellishment areas. All the lovely strips of the pattern paper, the die cuts that are tucked in here and there, creating a lovely texture and lots of fun clustering. Then on our other side, we've got lovely stickers. I like how they layered the frame on top of the cardstock to create a nice journaling spot. And then again, lovely clustering. So many fun things that we can do with that. Little bits of the splatter poking out here and there. Super fun. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. Now, if you're wondering, what are we going to do with the adhesive that we stuck on the back of our layout before we started? We just flip it over, take our rub and remove eraser, and just short little lifts like this, and it just rolls that adhesive right up into a little gooey ball. And you can pop it in the trash, and now no more sticky. Do the same thing to the other side. Rub and remove eraser is also good if you've accidentally stuck your tape runner or whatever to the wrong side of a piece of paper. I don't know if anybody else has ever done that, but I certainly have. And so there we go. Project number 2 done and dusted. Now we just got to do project number 1 and project number 3. But I hope you enjoyed seeing that come together and get a good look at what is involved with the scrapbooking workshop kits. This one specifically from Evergreen. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we will see you later on. Don't forget, we have Chat and Craft coming on at 7 o'clock this evening, and the link will be posted on the crop page. All right, we'll see you then. Toodaloo. Bye. Now I got to figure out how to turn off the video. Do, 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 do.